Hello there. Hello there, World of Tankers. I'm Droodles. Hello there, World of Tankers. I'm Droodles Blitz, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Progetto 65. Now, the reason I want to make a video on this tank specifically today is because I personally feel that a lot of people really don't play this tank anymore, and I honestly haven't played it that much either myself. I played it for about one video 10 days ago or so, and that was about it. I really haven't pulled it out that much since. So in today's video, I wanted to pull out the Progetto to see how it actually plays, if it still stacks up pretty well in the matchmaker with all the other mediums and everything else like that. Now the main reason why the Progetto isn't played too much anymore, it actually used to be one of the most played tier 10 mediums in the entire game. It was an extremely popular one, and that's because, as you can see by that little icon on the gun, it was an auto reloader. So what that means is you can unload your clip however you like. You can shoot 2 shells off and reload the 3rd shell in a clip, and then unload that whole clip. So it's something that's very cool about this tank that no other tanks feature in the game yet. Well, the Standard B of course does, and so does the Pantera, but these are all Italian tanks, but no other country sports this type of ability, and this is the only tier 10 auto reloader currently in the game. I think it's a really cool concept. The issue was that Wargaming nerfed this tank pretty much to the ground. Not only did they nerf the engine power on this tank to make it, I'd say, go on an average of about 40 kilometers per hour, which, yeah, isn't very fast for a tier 10 medium. As well, they nerfed the aiming time on it, they nerfed the dispersion on the tank, and as well, I think they nerfed the DPM a little bit, which really hurts the vehicle. 2,500 damage per minute is not really a lot. You look at the 121, and it has a 7.88 second reload for 420 damage. You look at the Progetto, and it's got a 7.7 second reload, yeah, 7.7 for the first shot, and you have literally less damage. It's 350, so you're losing damage on this tank as well as DPM. So it's not really a win-win on this tank for most people to pull it out. In my opinion, though, it still has one really good thing going for it, and that is a clip. You're able to unload 1,150 damage in a matter of 6 seconds, which is crazy to believe. And then you're able to reload each shell singularly 7.7 seconds later. So while you do lose that DPM, you still do have the first clip that really does hurt the enemy. Now looking at this lineup, I'm going to be careful. I see the Sheridan is pushing here, but I'm going to push towards this bridge over here, because you look at their lineup, 1-2-1, Sheridan, and they got the STB. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to fight that, I don't think. Now we do have a good Sheridan player, it looks like, but there we go. That poor Sheridan is probably going to be taken out here. There we go. Nice taps into him. And we did get hit by that STB, but that was worth it. So as you can see there, that shot we got, this is definitely a good Sheridan player, which is good for me. I don't want to be rushed. But as you saw there, I was able to unload 2 shells into that enemy Sheridan, which was actually a benefit of the auto-reloading gun that was able to give me the advantage to clear the enemy tank. You would not have that ability in a normal medium vehicle. So that is one thing that this tank really does excel in. So the mediums obviously are running. I'm not going to be able to chase them down, so we're going to push in through here. We're going to go to the heavy side. This game looks like it fell apart very quickly for the enemy team. So let's see if we can maybe tap a shell into the... Ooh, that was an unfortunate bounce on the turret there. And there we go. So maybe we'll be able to tap you now. There we go. Maybe one more? No. So we were able to tap a couple shells out so far, just breaking shy of 1,000 damage, but this is definitely not going to be a high damage game. As you can see, the enemy team just fell apart very quickly. So we've got the E4. Let's tap 3 shells into this poor guy. You're going to see why this gun is just so deadly. So there's 2 shells, and you're going to be taken out, so we can use our 3rd shell on you. Nice little ram up the butt. So you can see that the tank did do a pretty good job with the clip here. This wasn't the best example. We'll definitely play another game just because this definitely was not the best example to show you how the clip works. But we were able to do a little bit of damage. Definitely not the most, but yeah, it definitely wasn't able to show the best of the abilities, but we still did decent. So let's pull the tank out one more time and see if I can really show the ability. But you were able to see that I was able to maximize my DPM. I'm actually surprised that we were able to get that much damage out, and that's because that last burst of damage we fired, we weren't able to do in many other mediums in the game. In fact, any. We were able to unload about 1,200 damage plus the ram, so about 1,400 damage in a matter of 6 seconds, where you wouldn't be able to do that in a tank like a 62A, even though it has 3,500 DPM. So here we go, we're pushing in once again. So they got an FV4 202, they got 2 Sheridans. Now, this tank falls apart on the armor. It has very good upper armor, but it really won't stand a chance. The Sheridan will bounce off our upper plate because this thing has a very you can see it's a very steep angle on the upper plate, but it's not really going to do that well up against most heat rams, especially from the Sheridan. So we got the T-54 there. That's one tap into the poor guy. I'm going to use this rock as cover. This is one thing that you really want to do, especially against Sheridans, is use your surroundings to cover you. And of course, we bounce the side. So there we go. We got that FB pulling out right there. Let's see if we can tap him a couple times. There's one shell. There's two shells, so we were able to tap about 700 into him there. So that's a pretty nice, pretty solid amount of damage. We were tapped by the Foch. I'm pretty sure that's the guy that hit us. He's sitting at the back of the map. So I want to be careful, make sure that the Foch doesn't hit us again, because yeah, that does hurt a little. We've got that ST1 who does not have the max gun, but the gun will still be, looks like strong enough to damage us pretty easily. So there's one shell into that Sheridan. Here comes our second, and are we going to be able to tap a third? Come on. There we go. So that was pretty much an entire hit point pool just stripped away of a Sheridan, and that's what makes this tank so deadly, as you can see. Oh, that was a bad shot for me. That was definitely my fault. If that was any other light tank, though, that would have penned. That is one thing that is very, very annoying about the Sheridans. So let's see if this T-54 wants to back up. And the nice thing is, while I'm waiting for him here, you can see I'm actually waiting for my shell to come. That way, I can tap another shell like this right into the IS, well, maybe not. You can see that dispersion values on this tank are just awful. It's one big downfall on this tank. As soon as you turn it, it blooms so much. So let's tap, let's wait. There we go. Tap the shell into the lower plate there. Unfortunate as such a low roll. But you see we actually were able to output quite a bit of damage this game. Let's aim it on that Foch, and if we pen that shell, there we go. We were able to break 3,000 damage this game. Pretty solid amount. And that Foch really isn't going to be able to run away. Come on. No. But you can see that was a pretty solid game. We'll do one more because these games are very quickly falling apart for the enemy team. But that wasn't a game there where you were able to see just how deadly that clip is when you're able to unload it on an enemy tank. In my opinion, I actually think that if you don't have this vehicle, it is an extremely fun tank to grind. This is still probably one of my favorite tier 10 mediums in the game, and the reason for that being is, as I said, it has an ability that no other medium has in the game, and World of Tanks Blitz for me gets kind of boring after a while. After you play this game for 50,000 games, or yeah, my other count has 5,000 in it, so I've played this game for about 50,000 now, which is a crazy amount of games. That's literally days of playtime, hundreds of days. And with that amount of playtime, certain tanks just get boring after a while. I like big alpha vehicles, like the 183 I find is fun because it's a different type of tank. It has that big alpha, it's got the drawback of the terrible accuracy, and while it is a terrible tank in my opinion, I think it's still a fun vehicle to play. It's the same thing for the Progetto. It might not be the best tier 10 medium in the game anymore, but should that stop you from playing it? No. I think that the Progetto is a very strong vehicle in its class. Let's see if we can tap you. There we go, nice tap into the leopard there. And we've got 2 shells left, as you can see. I do not want to get hit by that E100. That's a guy I do not want to play with. But we do have the ability to tap this IS-8, so there's 1 shell. There's 2 shells, and I don't want to be hit by that E100, so we're not going to play and get that 3rd shell out. But as you can see, we were able to expel a large amount of damage there. That was a terrible shot. As you can see, dispersion really falls apart quickly on this tank on the move. There we go. Able to escape the claw of that E100. I definitely do not want to be hit by that. So let's tap you once, and as you can see, because we do have that clip, we let's tap the. Oh, I thought we had 2 shells. Doesn't look like we do. So let's actually reload this clip here. I don't want to get hit, so we're going to reload this clip here because they got that Badger. Badger's a very nasty tank, as you can see. So let's wait for it to reload. And there you go. There's 1 shell. Let's get 2 in. We're not spotted currently, so there's 2. And come on. There we go. So we were able to tap about, I'd say, 800 off that Badger there. Very nice amount. And because we have that auto-reloading aspect, there we go. As you can see, I was able to use that 3rd shell, which you wouldn't be able to do in a normal autoloader. That's the really cool thing about this tank. So as you see there, that was just a crazy amount of damage we were able to get out there that you wouldn't in a normal tank. So I'm not really going to go after this mouse right now. I want to get this bat chat because, of course, it's a bat chat. So there we go. There's 1 shell into him. I wanted to make sure that nobody was pushing out on the other side. So that's 1 shell. We're going to tap him one more time as he tries to cross this freak there. Oh, no, we won't because I'm definitely still not the most accurate. Let's see if we can tap you. No, you can see dispersion on the move is just awful in this tank. It's one really big downside of this vehicle that really you struggle with, is that dispersion. You saw there, it really just fell apart. So come on, K91, I believe in you. Yes, K91, nice taps into that guy. So I see the D100 there. I'm going to wait for our last shell to come into the clip. Once we get that, we are going to unleash lots of damage onto this U100. Hopefully we're not spotted here. We are, but there you go. Nice ricochet on the upper plate. And there you go. So nice tap. I don't know how that 704 didn't hit us that hard. I expected us to hit him, but as you can see, he didn't really hit us that hard. So let's tap one into the rear of that IS-8's turret, and there we go. This was a nice game. This is a good game to really show the potential of using that clip. You saw there, we were able to tap a crazy amount of damage into the, what was it, the Badger. How much did we take off that Badger? In a matter of about, I'd say 10 seconds, we took off not 10,000, that would be amazing. We took off 1,000 hit points, and that was with heat rounds. That's very, very deadly. We penned all of our shells. The dispersion, as you saw, though, is terrible. Dispersion while moving the tank is something that they really nerfed on the vehicle that a lot of people don't know about. But, as you saw, these games were very good. All of them we won. All of them had pretty good damage. We were able to average about 3,300 damage, which is good in my book. That's mostly what I like to average in this tank, and we were able to do pretty good. So, in my opinion, if you were thinking of a new exciting medium to go for this tank, because while it isn't the best, while it isn't going to win you the most tournaments or get you the highest scored ratings, it is an extremely fun tank. It can expel a lot of damage if you do get it in the right scenario. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. As always, if you did, please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that like button if you did like it. If you didn't like this video, well, you know what to do. Let me know in the comments down below. But other than that, guys, I hope you're all doing well out there. Stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you in the next one.